Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today we have this 2013 Ram here with the 6.7 Cummins, and we are going to be installing a brand new FASS Signature Series pump. Let's get into it. Alright guys, we're here, boxes off of the truck. I'm going to catch a lot of comments for this, but why is the box off the truck? You don't need to do that to install a FASS, I get it. But with this truck, we're going to be doing a couple of other little things, and it just makes it easier if the box is off. And on a plus side, I do not like working underneath these things because you're working overhead and you're hitting little pieces of this and that, dirt's falling in your eyes. And overall, this is just a cleaner way to do it, in my opinion. You guys can do it any way you want, but FASS also does a no-drop series. That means you don't have to drop the tank. You end up just putting a sump in the bottom of it and tying into the wiring on the top somehow. I'm not really entirely sure, but I think it's gonna be, you know, a lot easier than the way we're doing it here now. But box is off because we're doing other stuff, so just keep that in mind. We're gonna rip into this pump here and get it retrofit now. Hey guys, another thing when you are installing one of these FASS kits into a truck, always register the warranty. There's a number on the side of the pump, right there. Use that number, go to FASS's website, register your warranty. You have 30 days after the date of purchase to get it registered. If you don't, you have any issues, you gotta learn. So just so you guys know, something that I like to do is this plug here that we have on the top of the factory fuel pump has a plug-in kind of right here on the inside. And what I like to do is when I pull this plug-in off, I like to depin the plug that goes to the power feed for the pump that is inside of here. So we're going to be removing this piece, so there's no point in these wires hanging down in here and flopping around. I like to just pull the pins, get them right out of there, so then there's nothing that can go wrong inside of there. Alright, so now we are going to be drilling our suction line in. We're going to go on the original suction line here, and we're basically just going to run a step bit through it. Guys run a hole saw through them, you can do either or. I just like using a step bit, so we're going to do that right now, and then we will put the return in. And I think we're going to be putting our return line in probably right there. That's what you should be looking like up to this point. This is our factory return, so we're going to leave that so we can tie back into that with the factory return line. But yeah, we are good here. Alright, so we took our measurement from the top of the fuel tank down. Basically measured that distance. Obviously, this is collapsible, so we went and measured the fuel tank, and that brought us to 13 1/8 for height. So we put it on the fitting, measured for 13 1/8, and we come out to 11 1/2 to cut our piece of pipe to. We're going to cut our return line hose to it as well. Remember that the pipe is the suction. You do not want to put the hose on as the suction because obviously it'll collapse. So we're going to cut our hose and get these fittings installed. And that's what it should look like. Alright guys, so we have our retrofit pump. This is essentially what you want it to look like. We got out all the original stuff, the factory lift pump that's inside of this little cup. We got rid of it. I depinned the wires for the plugs so we don't have any live wire going into there at all. And this is how I oriented the fittings on the top. The front of the truck is up here. This is the back. So essentially this is our return. This is our feed. Our feed is going to go out the side directly into the pump. Straightforward, not a bunch of wraps, no messy stuff going on underneath there. It's pretty clean, pretty straightforward. Yeah, so let's get this thing in there. All right, so you can see it a little bit better now. This is our feed to our pump, this is our return from the pump, and this is our return from the truck. So we're going to take the truck return, just plug that right back in. Alright, so now that we have everything in here, like I said, we're going to take our feed from the tank. It's going to hop over the frame, go directly into the feed for the pump, then through the pump, and we will take our feed to the injection pump up the engine. Here, we'll attach our line with the push lock, and then we'll run it up the frame to the injection pump. And last, we have our return to tank. We'll take that line, we'll kind of hoop it around the front here, and run that up to here. So yeah, let's get started. Alright, so next step, we are going to go here under the hood to the injection pump. And the fitting that we're going to take off the injection pump is this guy right here, because this is our feed from our fuel bowl that we have just over here with the fuel filter in it. We're going to take this fitting off. You can take this line off, actually. Yeah, and get that line off of there. But we're going to take this guy right here, and we're going to spin her out. FASS provides a fitting for that, so we're going to spin that out, put the new one in, and we're going to pull our fuel line up to this. Alright, now that I've got the new fitting onto the CP3 injection pump, I'm going to pull the fuel line to this push lock, plug it in, and then we're finished on the fuel end at the front, and we'll plug it into the FASS pump at the back. Alright, so we got the wiring harness pulled. This end of the wiring harness is going to go into our FASS pump, into the plug-in on the side. This end is going to go into your factory fuel pump spot to run the float. This one is going to click into our factory wiring harness. Basically, this wiring harness will trigger the FASS pump to turn on when the truck wants it to turn on. All right, final piece of the puzzle. We are going to be installing our supplied eyelets onto our red power wire and our green ground wire. Once these are installed and hooked up to the battery, we can plug in our fuse that comes with the kit into the fuse holder, and we cannot forget our relay. We have our relay holder there, supplied relay. Once we get all that in there, it'll be time to prime the pump. Alright guys, now we're going to do a couple key cycles, prime the pump, and we should be good to fire it up after that.